This is a rather noisy location today, and it's a location that I've popped into before, and I come here for primarily one species, and that's a Harvestman, one of the first Harvestmen out in the UK spring. It's a species relatively new to the UK, but especially still new to Nottinghamshire, species that found a number of years ago, and when I surveyed for it I found it at numerous sites in the Mansfield North Nottinghamshire area. But I come here today because it's become really mild today. It's approaching sort of 12 centigrade, and so I think that's warm enough to attract the juveniles out of the leaf litter in which they overwinter and up onto these smooth bark trees, where they're then very easy to spot. But I'm not sure entirely as to what size they'll be. May well even be sub-adult, but either way they'll have 2 or 3 molts to go. So I'll have a wander amongst the bluebells, the flowerless bluebells still. Well, I found one, and it's smaller than I expected. This is very much a juvenile Platybunus pinetorum, and it's sat about 4 feet up. The beech trunk here at the side of A614 at Clumber Park, just north of the Clumber Hotel. I nearly walked past this. I don't look closely at trunks, you just look for certain features that look odd. And this looked a bit odd, so I investigated it, and we'll just show you size grubby, really grubby, dirty fingernail, sorry. But that's how big we are. Just got at least 2 molts to go. But the conspicuous thing about it, and it's an easily identified species because of that chestnut ocularum, and that's the point on which the eyes are almost mounted. It's raised up on all Harvestmen and holds both eyes. Harvestmen only have 2 eyes, but already you can see the darker saddle marking to the rear of the body. It really is one of our most beautiful Harvestmen. And if I just check today's date, this is March the 16th. It's very mild, it's about 11.5 to 12 degrees. And I thought I'd just pop up here and see if any are out on the trunk. And I did expect to find one, but I thought it may well be lower down. Lovely. Really pleased to see this. I must do more surveying for Platybunus pinetorum. Never ended up doing a great deal last year. A couple of times I came to this site, but I can't remember checking the other sites much. In Nottinghamshire, this is very much a Harvestman of woodlands. Elsewhere in the UK, it seems to be more of a suburban species. I never hear, or I can't remember hearing, people finding this Harvestman in woodlands. It often turns up, it seems, in old cemeteries, but has yet to do so here. But there's one link that this species has with all its Nottinghamshire sites, and there's getting on towards about 10 or so sites. I can't remember exactly. I will put a map in to show you its distribution. Its distribution never changed last year upon the year before. The link you can probably hear driving past. There's another link as well, and that's the trees that this species is on. It seems to prefer beech. It's certainly easier to spot on beech, even when it's this size. It's easy enough to notice. But many of the sites that have found this species in Nottinghamshire are similar to this, side of a main route. There's a lay-by just 50 yards up there where my car's parked, and many of the sites in Nottinghamshire are exactly the same. Beech woodland, or woodland containing beech and all the smooth bark trees at the side of a main road. And even there are several instances where there's a lay-by. Maybe that's how it's ended up here. It was first found a number of years ago by Paul Richards, if I remember right, in his garden. Obviously, or presumably imported. And then since then it's turned up odd places around the country. I found it at Nottingham a few years ago now at Holborn Hill Plantation, then found it there in greater numbers the following year. Went looking for it and promptly found it at a number of sites in this North Nottinghamshire area, from sort of Clumber down to Mansfield. I think it's probably elsewhere in Nottinghamshire, but it's finding sites that are suitable and then getting people to look at those sites. But it is an absolutely cracking Harvestman. Harvestmen are wonderful. They really are. I know people will have a phobia of them purely because of the number of legs that they've got, but they're not like spiders. And when they sit nicely on the trunks of trees like this little chap, or lady should I say, because in Nottinghamshire only females have been found, and that's prevalent throughout the UK. I think it's only around the Holmfirth area in which males have been found, or at least a couple of males. On the continent, both sexes are equally abundant. But that's a strange thing about UK flora and fauna, but especially the fauna. There's at least a couple of moths in which on the continent there are male and female. But in the UK, they're just parthenogenic, just females, no males, and self-fertile females. Evolution in progress, I presume. Maybe one day males will turn up at this population here at Clumber, or one of the other populations locally. But this is the first of the year. I'll have a quick look around and see if I can find any more, and then we'll come back in a week or two when it's warmed up properly, and we'll do another count, another survey. Just over 100, can't remember the exact figure, in 2021 I believe it was, is the record. It would be nice to beat that. Well, you can see how busy this road gets. It's surprising how nature can live alongside our road systems such as this, and indeed in the case of Platybunus pinetorum have almost certainly been spread and have colonised the country purely because of what's about to pass me.